Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.
Hey, historians. Welcome back to another great episode of the Historically Haunted Show right here on the Paranormal King Radio Network, the one and only rolling with the royalty. Took a couple weeks off. Wasn't feeling well last week. I had heat exhaustion. I actually have a heat rash. I was very, very down for the count. But this week I have someone who I talk to frequently. I've actually been on his show because he is the co-host of Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast with Jay Hill. He also does a lot of geeky stuff on his own, which we'll dive right into. So let's bring him right on board. Hello, Shane Feek. What is up, brother?
Hey, hello, everybody. Having a good time. Looking forward to the show. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we got Charles Fulton in chat, Carlos Nunez, Dave, Mike Davis, Nicole Gaspard, and I know Heather Witchin will be in chat very quickly. So they all say hi, and they're looking forward to the show. So that's good. So what have you been up to, my friend? I know you're a busy dude. You're a workaholic. And you've got tons of shit going on. Studio 6, the whole podcast thing's kind of taking a back seat. Any idea when you're going to make a comeback, or is there new shows on the way or something?
Oh, yeah, of course. So basically, Jay just has too much going on, and I have too much going on. The summers for me, I do a lot of hiking, outdoor stuff, a lot of things, and just trying to get back, in time for a Sunday night podcast just doesn't always work. So we decided to take a pause. I believe the first week of November will be our first coming back. And we're going to just continue like we were before, and life will go on.
Absolutely.
So we still got our platform, and everything's still ready to go. Just, got to get life out of the way first.
Yeah, and I think it's good for me anyway, mentally, to take a break. Like, I love my podcast and shows, but I don't mind taking a break every once in a while because you wear your fucking brain out. You know that. Sometimes it's too much.
Yeah, and I think we did, 55 or 57 straight episodes.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was time for a little break.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you had me on there once or twice. I think with Heather once even. Betsy Lou checks in. Hey, Betsy. So, yeah, it's always a fun time with you guys, and you guys know your shit.
Yep.
So for those of you, like I said, that don't know, Shane, basically he's the Egon Spengler of he's like the scientific. Is that fair to say? And that's a good thing. But you're very much into your gadgets, huh?
Yeah. Yes. I'm the technical side. He's the spiritual side.
Right. No, and I think that's a good 1-2 combo because you love your gadgets, and I think you just excuse me, smoking a joint, like I said. Also, too, like I believe you mentioned to me before that you're a believer that's a skeptic, right? Was that you that said that?
Yeah, I'm 80% skeptic, 20% believer, but that 20% keeps me going because I do find weird shit that you cannot explain, no matter how much physics or math or sensors you put into it. You're like, what the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah, I agree to that. There's some shit that I've seen where it's like either my brain just played a trick on me or that, I don't know, like you just kind of, okay, go the other way. Excuse me. Wow, big hit. I know you're more of an edible guy, so I probably should have done that actually.
Yeah, I just dropped a couple, so.
Oh, that a boy. He always checking with me. He's like Major Tom to ground control takeoff, and I go, oh, I better eat some edibles. Shane's doing it too. I love that. Let's talk about, like, what's your number one if you had to go for one? Is it UFOs? Is it creatures like Bigfoot's Loch Ness? Is it paranormal history? Like, if you had to pick one?
I'm going to definitely say it's in the paranormal. Basically, you know, spirit or ghost hunting is my typical thing. I haven't done much UFO stuff, and I haven't done any Bigfoot stuff. So
no shit.
Others aside from just, you know, reading articles and stuff on the
Right.
internet, which is,
Oh,
you know, just whatever.
Speaking of UFO Fred Richards just checked in and said hi. His alien antennas must have been ringing. Real quick, Shane, Nicole Gaspard from Real Haunted Connections here. She's got a radio show as well. She's an author. She asked a question. She says, "Hey Shane, what's your favorite gadget to use for investigations? What's your go-to?"
Oh, this is going to be the fun part. So I don't use, for the most part, I don't use the nifty little gadgets that you see sold at Ghost Stop and all these places. I custom hand build all of my own equipment. I write all the software for it, and it's more lab grade equipment than it is consumer ghost hunting stuff.
Wow.
So I have a sensor board that I built that picks up 26 different parameters, and it logs them every second with a date timestamp. And so the nice thing about that is there's no human bias. It is a computer doing it. If it logged it, it happened, kind of a thing. And so I don't really have a favorite ghost gadget. I think maybe my least favorite might be a K2 meter, because it's kind of a gimmick. But, you know, I mean, to each his own, of course. When you're used to, you know, a 3-axis full-on EMF or magnetometer versus a K2 meter, you're like, ooh, okay, I'll take the 3-axis magnetometer every time. So and it does the same thing, just better.
I don't want to say it's like beginner level, but it's kind of like the moderate ghost hunter level K2s. I mean, it's kind of like the basic thing where I agree with that, some of that stuff, because it's hard to prove anything with that shit. It's hard to go, look, it's like, what does that fucking mean though? That's not anything. It's kind of a basic, you know.
And so I'll spend just a couple minutes, and I'll describe a typical investigation for me. So basically what I do is, as soon as I get on location, I typically set up the sensor board off to the side, away from everybody and away from as many people as I can get it. And I let it run for literally an hour or more, and just let it record values. It's recording temperature, barometric pressure, humidity, physical movement, motion detection, infrared, ultraviolet, visible light. It is recording not only motion, but how far away is the motion from the device.
Ooh.
It's recording, of course, magnetic fields. It's recording electric fields. It's recording ions. So it's literally doing all this at the same time.
Wow, that's a lot of covering.
Yes. So like I say, it's covering 26 different parameters all at the same time. I mean, even if you walk across the room, it knows, because it can feel the floor move. It can see your motion. It can see the light level changes as your shadow goes by. I mean, it definitely, you can't sneak up on it. There's no way.
Right.
And so anyways, what I do is I let it run for an hour, and I take that as my first baseline reading. Then there's a switch on the board that you click the switch, and that puts it into session mode. So let's say it's recorded for an hour, and now I'm going to do an EVP session. So I sit down at the board, I flick the session switch, and then we start our EVP session. Now, unlike other people where they're like, who are you? What date is today? You know, all the typical ghost questions. I'm asking things like, if there's a spirit present, can you alter the magnetic field in this room? I will give you 30 seconds starting now. And I'll give it 30 seconds, and I'll say time. And then I'll wait a couple minutes, and then I'll go, okay, can you change the temperature in this room? You've got 30 seconds starting now. And so what I do is I do these 30-second increments, and I do kind of a sensor walk, telling any spirits that are there to try to trick this sensor. Now, of course, many ghosts might be hundreds of years old. They might not even know what that is. So a lot of times I'll be more generic. I'll be like, can you just fly through the board, or can you walk across, or come into the room with it? You know, things like that. And of course,
Layman's
things like
terms,
temperature and light, they can figure that out. But, you know, tell them touch the magnetometer, they're going to be like, what? You know, so the idea is then, this is the nifty part. So when you're done with the session, you shut off the session switch, and that logs in the data that the session has ended. So then what I do is I go back to the data and I cut out the chunks of data of those 30-second increments, and then I compare them to the baseline. And then, so if I said, hey, can you increase the magnetic field in this room? I take that 30 seconds and I compare it to the baseline and see if they increased it. And I do a statistical analysis to say, okay, it increased this many percent. It's got this much standard deviation. It's got, you know, this amount, you know, z-scores of this much. Yes, that was an actual change in the direction we said versus baseline. You know, and so they have to correlate in time, because the 30 seconds has to match the 30 seconds that you asked the question, you know, and they have to, you know, again, be a change from the baseline. So the nifty thing about this is it's all math and computers. It's not subjective human.
What do you mean?
I mean, so what I'm saying is there's no human involved in collecting data or doing the analysis, as far as, I mean, you're doing math formulas, which a computer does, and you're doing the thing. So basically what I'm saying is it's not, oh, well, I felt the temperature change, or, oh yeah, it got a little brighter in here. You know,
Right.
I can tell very detailed. And because I'm doing math doesn't lie and computers don't lie. And so if you get statistically significant changes on the thing you asked for at the time you asked for it, that's pretty hard evidence. Probably harder evidence than any ghost group I can think of, just by, you know, oh yeah, the room feels colder now, or, you know, it takes the human subject.
I was just going to say that. I would say that when someone says, I feel cold, or I feel hot, or I feel dizzy, all you do is really taking their word. You can't prove not or. But to have
Correct.
mathematical data that shows that temperature dropped 8 degrees, 3
Yeah.
degrees, what you're right.
Yep.
Spot on. Yep.
And so that's how I do my investigations. I mean, some investigators would probably be freaked out by that, and it definitely does not make good TV show material.
No,
It's
well, the real
more
shit
like
never does.
It's more like a lab setting. You know, it's more like you're bringing a lab to the location to test it. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the places, and I won't say any names, but a lot of these famous big places I've been to, and I've ran this experiment, and I've done it for hours with all different settings and all different, you know, baselines and different rooms and different parts and whatever. And a lot of them don't show jack shit.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. Nothing. That baseline just went the whole freaking night. The only changes you might see is some temperature changes if there's HVAC in there, where the air conditioner's turning on, the heater's turning on. But, you know, but then again, other times you will get multiple sensor hits that correspond with the correct 30-second interval and show a statistically significant change from the baseline. And
Right.
you can get several of those in the same session often at location. So that's the 20% that keeps me going. It's like, you know, if I never got anything and it was always flatline and nothing ever happened in reality with the thing, I'd just quit a while ago. But
Yeah.
every so often you get one. And the other thing I found is, if you go back to that same location, you will see the same thing again. Whereas if you go back to one of the ones that didn't get something the first time, pretty much never get something the second or third or fourth time.
So a lot of
we
it's
have a
residual
few
or repeating, I guess you would think. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think it's more, a lot of the places people say that are haunted aren't haunted. And maybe some of the places that people are like, that's not so bad, actually are. And, you know, it's possible that a good famous place is haunted, no problem. And I've, you know, gotten some good readings at some famous places. But what I'm saying is a lot of them, I have a sneaking suspicion it's marketing. Somebody they have a creepy old house. They want to make some money.
Yeah.
They make up some stuff and they get going. And it probably doesn't happen a lot, but when you can put all kinds of lab equipment in there for hours on end, or even multiple times, and you don't get nothing, it's like, well, I don't think it's haunted. I'm just gonna call it that.
And honestly, what you're doing is far more investigating than what someone with a fucking meter and a Ouija board is doing. You're not really. I'm sorry. When you have someone dead and there's a murder fucking scene, the investigators bring in the lab. They stay for hours, weeks to try to find out. They don't just go in for a night with a Ouija board and go, no murder here. You know what I mean? And that's all good and good. And I'm probably gonna piss people off. And I'm sure you probably killed a lot of boners by saying that half these places are haunted, but it's the fucking truth. People are going to want to hang around jails and asylums just because they were tormented there. They're going to move on, I would think. But if it's creepy, it's got broken windows, and you can make $800 for a weekend, you're going to say it's haunted, right?
Yep. So, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not here to crash anybody's parade. Or for me, as far as the paranormal community, I mean, I like to read ghost stories. And I like to see people's stuff when they post it. And I'm pretty critical of it. I mean, I look at it pretty close. And if they're hokey, I just keep it moving. I don't even waste my time. Now, if they look like they're trying to at least do science and they're trying to do things and they're doing things consistently, I will look at their stuff. I don't have no ego about it. But,
But you snicker sometime.
Yeah. It's like, and I watch the TV shows. And, of course, I'll probably get blamed for this. But in a lot of those TV shows, they do not use their equipment correctly, and they do things that's like, well, yeah, you see ghosts because the way you're holding that thing or the way you're doing, stuff like that. So,
yeah, I feel like the original ghost hunters, Grant and them, would debunk a lot of shit. But like Zach and all of these new ones, they see something and they don't even think it could be a shadow or a light. They automatically go, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no drama pretty much in my ghost hunts. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, we've even done things. We've even done things.
Shane, real quick, we got a question, real quick, Shane, from Mike Davis. He wants to know what your team is called.
We're Southern Michigan Paranormals, SMP, and you can
Southern
look around
Michigan Paranormal guys.
Yes, and most of the time, their part is to get me into the place, and my part's to do the ghost hunt.
Love it.
So that's how it kind of works.
Love it. Nicole wants to know, how do you feel about using SLS cameras?
Roll raggy. Well, also as a note, my day job, I'm a systems administrator and a computer programmer. So things like SLS stations and stuff, I understand very deeply. And I wouldn't say it couldn't never find anything, but the whole point of an SLS camera was to watch a person doing an exercise or video game movement and map a stick figure to them, send that data to a computer so that when you play the video game, your character on the screen moves the same as the person in the room is moving. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to find stick figures in a room. Well, of course, it doesn't know you're not playing a video game because they unhook it from the console and they hook it to a screen and a bunch of other stuff, and they do some mods to it to get it to become, a ghost device. But that thing, the algorithm that's in that computer, its whole purpose is to try to find anything that looks like a human shape or form, whether it be a door frame, a bed frame, a picture on the wall. I mean, I've seen them where there's a picture of a person standing there. It puts the little guy right on top of him. It's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to do that. That's what it's.
Oh, I remember that fucking thing. Someone I know used that in the USS Salem, and he was going ape shit because there was a little fucking party in this room. And I go, well, then it's stupid. Yeah, the stick figure, they're red and green and shit. That's dumb.
Yep. Yeah, that's what the SLS camera is. That's what it does. I mean, for what it does, it's an ingenious device because it can literally see a person walk into the frame and it instantly identifies them and starts putting the stick figure on them. But the problem is shadows on the wall, the texture of the paint, the shape of the door frame. I mean, all those things can kind of look like a person. And so just like when you look at the clouds and you see a dog or a cat in the clouds, it's the same thing. It sees patterns, and that's all it is, a computer that sees patterns. And so if it sees pattern that looks like a stick person, it puts a stick person, even if it's stuck to the side of a wall, which of course, a lot of ghost people are like, well, that's demons or those are things, you know. It's like, probably not. It's maybe some different colored paint.
Oh, everybody's so quick to call something a demon these days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hollywood.
I haven't found them yet. I must be not as good. I can't find them yet.
That reminds me, Nicole does say thank you for answering her question, as well as Mike Davis
No
for letting him know about your paranormal team. They say thanks for that. We have a new guy checking in. I'm pretty sure it's someone I know. He's going by the name of Pritch Grapethrough. He says hello. It's a different name. They can use fake names in chat and different stuff, so they have fun with it.
Sure. It's all good.
So, yeah, man, I love that you're like a realist in this field, because I feel like that's what the problem is, and that's kind of why I went to the history and like oddities, like looking for serial killer death sites and movie sites. I want to do something different. I don't want to just go to a fucking the Conjuring House or Eastern State Pen or a place and go, I've been there, guys. Here we go. Another weekend. Let's grab some gummies and let's go to another convention and I'll get drunk and take selfies. I'm just not into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
like I say, I don't care about the fame or whatever, or any of the show. I don't even record most of the stuff that I do, but I want the truth. Okay. Does the spirit realm exist? Do spirits exist? Can people exist after death? You know, those kind of questions are what I'm trying to answer. You know, I don't care. I don't even record half the time. I don't even video record the thing. That's
what gets the most proof, though. You know, most witnesses aren't sitting there with a recorder. They're sleeping. They're making a sandwich. They're watching TV. They see something out of the corner of their eye or above their bed. They don't have time to grab a camera. It's personal. Like going to a music concert, man. Put your phone down.
And the other thing that's kind of neat is because the board's totally automated, you can just plug it in and leave the site. You can go to, a restaurant or whatever, have dinner and come back, and it's still recording. And it's recording with no people present, you know? And that's a neat thing to do sometimes. And I've even done this once on an investigation where we had a lot of people and they were doing a traditional investigation, you know, EVP session, all that stuff. They didn't know that I snuck the board in the back part of that same room they were all in. So it was recording the entire time they were doing their EVP session. And then when I went back through, because they videotaped it, I matched up the time with the numbers on the board to find out, okay, when somebody said they felt something, did the board see anything? Or somebody heard something, a knocking, did the board see anything? And so, you know, they weren't even aware they were being recorded in that way, you know, numerically. So I just do things different. I am not a normal paranormal investigator.
Honestly, dude, that's refreshing, and I think that's why you and me have a weird relationship. Even though we never met, we stay in contact. You don't just like my posts, and I don't just put a funny face on your post. You literally message me, "How's it going?" or "Hey, this and that." Or like, I feel like we keep in contact. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, and so, and if anybody has any more questions, you guys can find me through either the Studio 6 podcast, Facebook, you know, or you know, you can email me my name at gmail.com, shane.feek@gmail.com, and I'll answer technical questions.
Feek, Feek, Shane, Shane. So you know, and if you can't find him, hit me up and I'll send you the right way or whatever. Like I said, he's got him and Jay. Even Jay doesn't toot his own horn. Jay's pretty good at the spiritual side of psychic stuff. He's given me some great readings, and he don't really toot his horn either. And you guys are both pretty modest dudes, so.
Yep, he's awesome. So
I got to ask you, and I know I've asked you before, but I forget. Have you been to Maine yet? Have you been to New England at all? Boston?
In Maine, I've never been to Maine. I've been to Newark, New Jersey. That's as far east as I've ever made it.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So.
Wow. Well, you come down here, my friend. We're gonna have a lobster bake on me. You can crash at my place. We'll go rob Stephen King's house of his books.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, brother. We'll go look for the Wendigo and shit. And I know you messaged me. You're like, man, if I wasn't so busy, I'd love to be doing what you're doing. And that motivates me to do it for the ones that can't. Being as old as I am, not having any family or any kids or anything. My mom passing away. I got Heather, and she literally lets me off the leash. She knows I can just do whatever the fuck I want, and so which is good. Yeah, man. And if not, if I come down to your neck of the wood, we're gonna go look for Ed Gein's grave and the Michigan Dog Man and shit.
Sure. Well, and Al Capone's house is just a few miles from my house. So
Al Capone's house, like his childhood home?
no. He had because he got Al Capone. You know, he did the Chicago to Detroit. Always, you know, basically shipping, you know, alcohol and all whatever other illegal
Prohibition area, yeah.
Well, we live right along that road that used to go between Detroit and Chicago. And so he had hideout in the woods all along that route. Well, there's one of them right near here. And they even had a root cellar and stuff. You can still find it. And of course, meth heads burned the thing down maybe 10, 15 years ago now. Because it used to be an old farmhouse, but now it's just a cement foundation and, you know, in a root cellar. But I can find the location again. It's pretty cool. And I've done that a couple times and actually got some stuff. So
really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. Yeah. We had that one session out there. The EVP hit like 3 or 4 of the sensors on command at the right time for the right question. So
wow. Oh, my friend Scott from New Hampshire is visiting me, my second visitor ever here, my new home in Bangor, and he wants to ask a question of you. Scott wants to know if you've heard of the Nain Rouge, the devil from Detroit. The Nain Rouge, isn't there a red devil in Detroit? They call it the Nain Rouge.
I've heard of it, but I have not researched it.
I only know because there's a band called Acid Witch that are from Detroit that sing about the Nain Rouge and about how he comes when the city went on fire. He was there seen, or a bridge, almost like the Mothman in a way.
Yeah, and I think we have, of course, the Michigan Dog Man. That's always been another one that everybody talks about.
Yeah, werewolf-like creature.
So.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's fucking dope. All right, guys. Any more questions we get about? We should get a half hour left. We're quite rolling. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. And
sure.
Oh, fantastic. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna say, Shane, what's your go-to for fucking music, dude? If you like, is it like before a ghost hunt, or maybe going through investigation, or like material, or just in general? Like, what's your go-to? Name a couple bands.
Pink Floyd, definitely him.
Love Pink Floyd.
Black Sabbath. Those guys are all right. You know?
Yes, Ozzy.
Yeah. So those are a couple of Van Halen, of course, all the any of the big hair bands from the '80s. Of course, you got.
You're a '70s, '80s guy. That's fucking rad.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm old, so yeah.
A lot of the new music to me is kind of shitty. I mean, it's my own opinion, but I dig. I still crank out Black Sabbath. I actually saw Pink Floyd at Fenway in Boston. Joint there in Fenway. Oh, that was dope. They did the wall on the wall, and they hit it.
Yep.
Oh, I wish I was on acid. I wasn't, but goddamn. And of course, Sabbath. How could you not love Iommi and Ozzy?
Yeah.
What about movies? What's like a franchise of yours that's your go-to? Or what are your all-time faves?
Well, see, for me, I'm not really a movie person at all. So everybody always say, "Hey, did you see that newest whatever's out?" I'm like, "Nope, I've heard of it, but I never saw it." So I don't really watch movies. Most documentaries. You know, I used to watch a lot of the National Geographic stuff and Curiosity Stream. I'd watch those guys where they have all kinds of science programs. But as far as movies, I mean, I've seen, I don't know, of course, the Ghostbuster ones, and I don't know. I just don't really watch much movies. I have too many other projects.
No, that's cool.
Hours of my day.
I used to be a big one, but I'm kind of into the YouTube documentaries. I like watching when people travel to places I haven't been, like Adam the Woo or the Grim Life Adventures. Yeah, shit like that. But I'm big into gangster shit. I just watched something on Whitey Bulger from Boston, and I just watched something on this bike gang where a guy infiltrated a bike gang and it was a real thing. And that's kind of cool shit. Yeah, I like that. It kind of strays away from it, but it's kind of neat. So that's cool. I could see you doing that. I could see you not being a movie buff, but more or less like a true crime, a real based on a true story type
maybe
shit.
Some Doctor Who, a little bit of Doctor Who, or the old Carl Sagans when they were on.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very cool. That's cool. Man, we're just gonna have some fun. What about food, my brother? What's your go-to? Like a big steak, pizza, hair pie?
Yeah, steak is a good word, and any kind of seafood. I just seafood and I eat it. I mean, I like food. I love
that. I tell you, man, if you come to Maine, you like seafood, I'd fucking have you nice and stuffed. I know UFO Fred's from Maine too. Yarmouth's got like the freshest clams you've ever had and shit. So Pritch, great through world's foremost expert on gnomes, elves, pixies, and etc. says hi. Say that in class.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Jimmy Pentanino from Nesper there with Tony Spera, but that could be wrong. Someone says they love The Exorcist. Yeah, Exorcist was great. King says that Exorcist is based on a true story too, on a family in Texas, I guess. Believe it or not, Exorcist is one of the most scariest movies of all time. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, it's some freaky shit.
Oh fuck! Till this day, man, I really can't watch it alone. Which means it's good. So what's on the docket, man? Anything for any home cases, any public investigations? Or I know you're working your ass off, and it's hot as a bastard.
Yeah, we got some stuff. It'll be out in a while. A book and some other things for the Hinsdale house.
Oh, New York.
From our investigation, the board visited the location and it did okay. So
Danny Klaus.
You guys will have to just read all about that when the book comes out.
Ooh, you're gonna write a book.
Well, I'm writing part of the technical sections, but so I'm not the primary writer. But yes, I'm in the book.
Oh, fucking guy's humble.
Census board data is in the book.
Nice.
So I don't know exactly when it comes out, but it's in the works, making progress. So.
Yeah, that's killer, man. That's wow. Like you say, it's hard to find time to do shit. People want me to write a book, and I'm just like, well, yeah. What do you do? Just snap your fingers, sit down, and forget the world exists? It's not that easy.
It takes work.
Yeah.
You have to think about it.
And my fucking brain's a mile a minute. I got ADHD up the ass, and I don't take pills for it because I refuse to. So I just smoke weed to try to balance out. But I'm going to 5 locations a day. I don't got time to sit. But I'd love to. And kudos to you for doing that. I can't wait because you have a very interesting mind. You're very quiet on the show. I remember going on the show. You're very kind of quiet. You observe. But when you speak, it's like my old Italian grandfather. Everyone's forced to listen. I like that.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Seriously, man. I know Becca Thomas from Cemetery Diaries thinks highly of you. She's right here in Maine. She's a good shit. I know my girl Heather thinks very highly of you. I know a lot of people do.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Becca, her and I are friends. So.
Yeah, she usually chimes in sometimes on a Friday, but she may be working. Usually she does kind of, but
yeah.
But,
we usually get together for bake sessions. So
that's killer.
Bake night,
Night. Oh, well, that's tonight, my friends. Yeah, I'm on my Graham joint right now, actually, called Gorilla Glue A, and I'm drinking a nice Dementia Dog beer from Bigelow Brewing Company. And it is 7.9%. Oh boy, no wonder why I'm feeling it. And I'm just coming off severe dehydration for 2 weeks. And I got pulled over. And real quick, not to steal the spotlight, but I want to let the listeners know because I have no shame. I bought a car today because my car died again. This would be my 4th car in a year since my car accident. Pretty much a year and a half, 2 years. And I was coming back with it, and I was kind of a bad boy and put on my old car plates because I figured, what the hell. I didn't have time to get registration. I need to get to Milo for my show. It's a 3-hour drive from Heather's. And I was going like an idiot about 90 and a 75, and a Maine State Trooper pulled me over. And I was crying, man. I lost my shit. I showed him my heat rash, told him about my mom dying. I begged to the heavens. I said, Mom, get me out of this. Dude, the State Trooper came back 10 minutes later. He goes, Adam, I could have you arrested. I have your car impounded for wrongful plates or whatever. You know what I mean? He looks at me. He goes, here's a ticket for speeding. 95 and a 75, 91 and a 75, because it's 75 up there by Bangor. And he goes, I'm going to give you till Thursday. If you call me on my personal phone, give me his number and tell me you get full coverage registration on your car by Thursday, I'll drop all the charges. He goes, take your car and get home safe. He let me go. I looked at him. I said, are you an angel? I should have been impounded. Oh, yeah. I was middle of nowhere. I couldn't get a hold of my friends. I don't have a lot of family. And he left. I was crying like a fucking idiot. This is literally 2 hours ago, brother. And I looked at my mom and I praised her. So this is what I'm saying real quick, because I want to say this earlier when you were saying about certain times when they're there, there's things you can't explain. How the fuck did I get criminal speeding, no registration, and illegal attachment of plates with weed on me? And the cop let me go and he looked at me in our eyes. It's like it was my mom's eyes, Shane.
I know.
I don't know if she possessed him or changed his mind or what. He's an older dude. Old guys are pretty tough. Maine Trooper, dude, blue. And he fucking goes, get home safe, slow it down. I go, wow. Smoke when you get home. I go, I will. Oh my! I go, you're an angel, and he just smiled. I've never had that in my life. And I thank my mom for it. People can say it's not, but I'll die knowing that was my mom that got me out of that jail tonight.
Probably.
So shout out to the Maine State Troopers. They're good people. Don't fucking test them, but cops aren't as bad as you think. Not all of them anyway. So, because he saved my ass. I have a clean record anyway, but I could have been impounded, let alone arrested. He let me go scot-free with a car. He let me leave my plate on it. He let me keep my fucking old plate. It's not even on the real car. I still had an hour to go.
Yeah, because if you get arrested, then you can't. Then you're late for the show. That ain't good.
I got one phone call, ref. Let me call King. I got a show tonight. Not ref, but Baylor or whatever.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny. And they could hear the funniest part was when it gets to the end and it's like, you have 1 minute remaining with this inmate.
Oh my God, yes. Collect call from Bangor County Prison. Do you accept charges, Roscoe? I don't know, Oh, it's coming out of his salary, boy.
Yep.
But I'd have made headlines somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking to Shane Feek, SHANEFEEK. Very modest, very quiet. You're not going to see him on Facebook posting video games and recipes and selfies made out of pixie dust. He's very quiet, but if you send him a friend request and you're cool, he may accept it. And if not, you can find him in other ways. What's your paranormal team again, brother?
Southern Michigan Paranormal, from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Check that out too. You on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that shit?
Studio 6 Paranormal's on Facebook. We don't really do, like I say, we don't really advertise ourselves.
And YouTube.
Yes, true, YouTube. I forgot.
I follow
about
Studio
that.
6. Yeah, Shane is a co-host with Jay Hill, Medium Jay Hill on Studio 6. I've actually been a guest once or twice.
And if you go back a ways, if you go back a ways in those podcasts, there's actually one where I did a tech talk, and you can actually see the board. I actually go through the data. I do all that stuff. So you can watch that podcast if you go back far enough. So.
I love that. You're all over the place, and you got wisdom, and you're not in it, like you say, you don't have big heads. You're not in it to make money. You're just in it to have fun and just speak some truth. Ross, my boss from Canada, who runs the Paranormal King Radio Network with multiple guests, multiple hosts all week long. There's always a new host. He's got a great question. He says, I guess it's to me, or maybe I guess either of us. Do you think that Cujo was a true story? You ever seen Cujo by King?
I have not. I think I might have read part of the book once, but never seen it.
That deadly Rottweiler that turns and fucking mouths people up. Big,
That's
like
crazy.
Is it a Saint Bernard or a Rottweiler? A Rottweiler?
I don't know.
Saint Bernard. It was a Saint Bernard. That's what it was. Made Beethoven look like a wimp.
So,
I'm sure it was based. Dogs maul people all the time, so I'm sure to an extent it was. Yeah. Man, King's got a crazy mind. Honestly, dude, Shane looks like a younger, thinner version of Stephen King in a way, and they both act the same. Yeah. You guys are almost one and the same, I think, dude. That's a good thing.
Yeah, we're strange people.
But in a cool way. It's not like a creepy, like, oh, don't leave your water, whatever. Don't leave your door unlocked next to Shane. You'd be like, oh, if anything, give Shane some gum. What's up, dude? You want a candy bar? What's up, Shane?
Yo.
So fucking A, man. What's one of your bucket lists, Shane? Before, obviously, like me, I'm always worried about I'm going to get paralyzed or lose a knee or something. So I'm trying to get to every place that I really want to. But my bucket list is huge. What's like one of your top 2 or 3 for America or the world?
I haven't really thought about it much. There's a couple, like the couple of the penitentiaries look like they might be pretty cool. Maybe the Civil War thing would be pretty cool to do.
Like Gettysburg?
On the battlefield. Gettysburg, yep.
And you got to go to Salem, too. Not even just the witches, man. The pirates, the colonial fighters. There's movie shot there. Sure. There's a lot of pirate lore. I bet you must dig pirates. I do. And mermaids are seen out there. I love all that nautical shit, too. That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm open to it all.
Most of the stuff I do is just local, cemeteries, buildings. I mean, they're not really places, considered famous for ghosts.
Those are the best, man. Those are the ones I like to uncover. Every day I find a new place and I bring it to the world going, check this fucking place out, guys. King asked another question.
Awesome. I see it.
Oh, I know. I love it, dude. You follow my shit and I appreciate your support. You supported me for over a year now as a friend and I guess a co-worker in this field, so to speak. King wants to know, Ross says, hey, Shane, is a place that you would deem haunted, that you would deem actually legit?
Well, for our school in Iowa, had some pretty crazy shit happen that we recorded not only on, video camera, but also on the sensor board.
Far school in Iowa. That's where me and Chris Sanders were supposed to go do in 2020, but COVID hit, so they shut down. And we had to go to the Axe Murder House, and they wouldn't let us in there either in Vasilla. So we stayed in a hotel in Des Moines for fucking 5 days. The far school's wild. That's killer.
Yeah, and that's one of the ones where we got some of the strangest stuff we've ever seen. So
really, like what? Top of your head?
Well, yeah, top of my head would be like, I mean, we would literally say, hey, can you spike EMF in this room for, 8 seconds? And then you could say, hey, now can you do it for 50? I mean, and then you go back to the data and you'd actually see the changes exactly lined up with the amount of time.
You're hitting the intellectual spirits. You're hitting the ones that are smart, not even time wise, but I mean, there's some they say they're in a fog, almost repetitious, but you're talking to ones that respond back. You know what I mean? That's pretty
literally cool. I mean, and you can do it in a way where you're picking random numbers and things, and you're getting those time periods are showing statistical increases in, whatever field you're talking about. So
investigation work, brother. That's what real shit is. You don't just go there with a fucking cell phone. If you're going to go, bring the test cabinet, bring everything. That way. I love going through data more than even hunting. I just love going through the you know what I mean? Seeing what you can find. Yeah, evidence. There we go. I couldn't think. Heather Witchen joins us, my girl. She's back home safe in Saco. Hey, baby. I told my cop story. I'll have to tell you later. I don't think you even heard about it. I tried calling her. She was gone, busy. I was like, shit, I'm pulled over. I'm going to be in jail. And the guy let me go. I was like, smoked a joint on the way home. I go, fuck, Mom, thank you. Drove an hour. I'm going to tell that to my non-grandkids one day, man. Crazy story. So, like, how long you been in this shit? Like, how long have you been turned on by this? And what kind of did it? Was it a horror movie, Ghostbusters? Was it someone you knew, or just a gift that you got? How old were you?
So I've been only in this maybe 4 years now, almost 5. So not very long compared to a lot of ghost hunters that got, decades in. But I got into it because a friend of mine, was a ghost hunter, and he kept saying, hey, man, come on out to these things. And I'm like, at first I'm like, there's nothing to this, guys. You guys are just wasting your time. Don't do this. And then, finally one day I was like, all right, I'll go. So I went along, and then kind of when I saw what they were doing, and I went with the theories of what they were looking for, I was like, well, how about if I just build something to replace the people, and record automatically? And so it started out kind of more of an electronics project than it was anything, just to see if I could build it. And then after people saw it, they're like, no, you got to take that to actual sites and do things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you want to be hands-on, right? I mean.
Yeah, completely. And so that's what kind of got me started. And then when the first couple times that I actually got data that was anomaly, I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. The odds of that happening are almost nothing, And so at that point, it was like, okay, there is something to this. Now I want to investigate.
See, that's the skeptic part of you coming out and going, okay, push the fuck over. Because now there is. And I think kudos to you, because a lot of fucking, I don't want to say smart people, but people that are scientific, they don't want to believe in religion or go or any of that shit. They don't even want to have the iota of a phantom that it could be possible. And I think there is shit that even they can't prove, whether it's aliens. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, fucking this. They admitted to being flying saucers. They admitted to Area 51. So what the fuck is an alien? Related. So I think there's a lot of shit that we don't know yet, and that's okay. We're just not that advanced. It's okay. But I think a lot of scientists are thick, and they want to go, I got to know everything. But I like how your approach is like, who fucking knows, man? And that's why I'm in. I want to find out what's up. I don't know. That's cool.
Yep. Just
long story short. Could have just said that in the beginning and saved time, but.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's a great explanation. So what about overseas? Is there any sort of country you'd like to see? Maybe you're like Italy, Spain, or like the pyramids in Europe, or not Europe, Egypt?
Yeah, pyramids in Egypt would be awesome. Definitely.
That's a mind fuck. Sure.
And then, stuff in the UK that for some reason, and this is totally subjective, and random gut feeling, but it seems like the UK is more haunted than the rest of the earth. But
It's the UK's more haunted than the rest of the earth, you said?
yeah,
Yeah, I believe that. There's 1,200, 1,300 shit compared to 1,700 stuff here. That's 400 years on us, man.
Yep. So.
Dude, that's where witches, everything. You want to talk witches, mermaids, pirates, lore. It all started in Europe. How the fuck do you think it came to them? Look at the Roanoke. Roanoke, we weren't even America yet.
Well, and you got, the whole, and of course, then you got the legends from Arthur and all that stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. They got the King's Highway here in Maine that they said he drove from. When, there was a great question. Mike Davis has another great question. Have you ever been to, I'm going to butcher this. Have you ever, Shane, have you ever been to, the chat just moved. Have you ever been to 14th try, Sewell Coy Point Lighthouse or Sewell Chalk Point Lighthouse?
No, I have not.
Did I say that right?
I haven't done any lighthouses yet.
No shit. Where's that? Michigan Lake? Lake Michigan?
Yeah, I'm not sure where that one's at, but yeah, I haven't done any investigations at a lighthouse yet.
Never have myself. I've been to one in Maine with George Washington Commission, the Portland one. But what do you know about? Isn't it Lake Michigan that's got that Civil War train that supposedly went through with all the coins, gold coins? Is that out there?
I don't know. I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one.
I don't know. I literally lived it. That's all I do. I don't. Other things I'm obsessed, but what the fuck else? I mean, I gave up football. The only thing I really do is watch wrestling and that's about it. Everything else is documentaries. I only do is DoorDash, so I don't really have a work schedule, so I can watch TV a lot like an idiot. It's so hot though. What is it over there? 95 like it is over here?
Oh, it's hot. I'm telling you. I'm glad my house has central air.
Oh, I want to get that Mitsubishi shit. I'm looking into that. I hear that's really worth it after a year. I'd love to see a haunted lighthouse. Yeah, me too. No lighthouses yet. No, I don't really think you can do investigations at lighthouse, guys, because they're technically government property. So,
yeah, you could do it outside. I mean, you don't have to be in. I wouldn't think that a spirit would care which side of the wall you're on.
See, and that's what I like is that, like you said earlier, for those of you that missed it, we're talking to Shane Feek from Studio 6 Paranormal, and I keep fucking up. I should have this written down. Michigan Paranormal, right?
Southern Michigan Paranormal.
Southern Michigan Paranormal, and Shane is the Egon of that crew, and that's definitely a good thing. But we were just talking for this whole hour about pretty much, we got about 15 minutes left, just talking about what he's up to, what he brings to the table, and he's definitely, he's a thinking man's investigator, if that makes sense. He might not be everybody's cup of tea, but he'll get your respect, I think. He's got great outlook on things. This will be up tomorrow on Spotify, on iTunes, on Mixer FM, on my YouTube channel. It'll be always in rotation now on Paranormal King Radio. Usually they play archives of my show before and after on Friday, so you'll hear this one again. Like I said, it'll be on my YouTube channel, Historically Haunted on YouTube. So please subscribe to that. And I'll share it with Shane. I'll share it on Facebook, so you'll get to hear it all over again. Yeah, cool, man. We got about 10 minutes left. Anything? 13 minutes left, actually. Anything you want to touch on that we haven't yet? Well, we get a little bit of time.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just trying to think about, trying to get other people into the same, get into the field in the same way that I am. It would be neat to make some, apprentices or et cetera, to try to pass on, the scientific, the more scientific way of, investigating.
Yeah. It's Heather, actually, my girl Heather, Witch and Heather Community says, how does Shane organize all his data? He kind of touched on that earlier, but do you want to touch on that again? How you organize your shit? Great question.
Yeah. How I organize it. Usually when I get back, to the house here, I do folders for audio, data, video, photos. And then each investigation gets a date and time and what the location was. So basically, I just keep it in a folder structure.
See, smart. And you date and time it because you want to know, shit, was this 4 years ago? I'm that way with my pictures. I use Facebook as my folder because it's free, but I download my pictures to my laptop after. But even when I have videos even my videos for YouTube, I go Facebook Live, but I go only me. That way I don't have comments and I can try to be more professional. Kind of learn that. Yeah. But why not use the fucking tools you're given? I mean, it's kind of what, made us where we are. Shit, man, this hour flew by. We still got about 12 minutes left, so let's talk some cool stuff.
All right.
What was your first car? You seem like a Pinto dude, no?
No, although I have never owned a Pinto. I owned a Pacer once. How about that?
Oh, a Lacer? Oh, a Pacer?
The Pacer. Remember the little AMC? The Pacer. Yeah, I had one.
American-made classics. Oh, my dad used to bring me to the drag races. They had one in Oxford that had a fucking engine in the back of it. Used to ride wheelies in the quarter mile at 180, doing a fucking wheelie, dude. Wheelie bars on it. Fucking Pacers are lightweight little. Yeah. That was your first ride, dude? You had a fucking afro, I bet, and bell bottoms and shit?
Just about. I'm not quite that old yet.
No, you don't have to be that old. You're a 70s child like me. I'm 79 myself. I'm going to be actually going to be 30. Shit. 30. No, I'm going to be 43 September 6th. I had to rethink it.
Yeah. I was in 73. So yeah, a little bit.
No, that's fine. 70 children have something in common, my brother. We're fucking 70s kids.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up on all the good shit. Now they got everybody bubble wrap. Back when I was a kid, you did a fucking bike jump and you did it without a helmet, you pussy. Nowadays, you can't even ride a bike down the road straight, let alone on a jump. And good luck taking a helmet off.
Yeah.
We survived, right? Look what we're doing. Here's some questions coming in because Heather joins us real quick.
All right.
She says, it's in Gulliver. Thank you. I don't know that. So you can go back and cross-examine stuff. She loves it. That's a great idea. And she also says, if money didn't exist, what would Shane do for a career/legacy? Great question, Heather. Goddamn.
So if money didn't exist, what I would
if money
do?
wasn't an issue and you could run for something like president or like you could be like NASA or like, that's what I'm thinking. Like you could do something crazy shit like that, like try to make the death beam. Like fuck, I watched a thing on Nikolai Tesla the other day. You can rent the room that he died in out in California or New York or something, and fucking he built the death ray in that room, and the government took the fucking papers when he died, dude.
Oh yeah. That was
fucking
a huge
wild
thing for
so,
a while.
So I digress. I took away from the question. Heather wants to know, hey, Shane Feek, if money wasn't an issue and didn't exist and all that bullshit, and you were younger again, had time, all that good shit, what would you like to do for a career legacy?
I think something involving like the space industry.
Love
Not
that.
necessarily being an astronaut, but in the engineering or developmental part of the space industry. I think that would be really, really awesome.
She goes, I can see him as a forensic scientist, which is really cool. But you could be like a space forensic scientist and like go examine moon rocks that fall and meteorites and shit.
Yeah. Well, and I used to be I used to work at a video game company. So,
No
that
way.
was pretty awesome as well.
Name drop
I
that.
worked for games.
Oh,
Heroes of New Earth. You ever play that game?
What is it?
Or Strife. Yeah. Heroes of New Earth or Strife.
Oh, that sounds familiar. I played a shit ton of games when I was a kid. Wow. That's impressive either way.
I worked for that company. Yep. I was their sysadmin for a while.
Wow. That's like every motherfucker's dream job is working for a video game place or porn.
No.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. But yeah, I could see you working for like a non-NASA type thing.
Yeah.
Or being like a secret level or just a little hidden compartment of NASA, being like the geek squad. They shoot to the moon to collect fucking dust every 8 months and give you guys a couple sandwiches and frozen strawberry shakes. I'd go in a fucking spacecraft tomorrow. I got nothing to lose. I'm going to float around space for the next 4 years and die. Whatever. Let's do it.
That's pretty funny.
I love that, though, because you got that will, too, man. I mean, obviously, you got shit going on, but you kind of get that no fear attitude because, like you say, there's reasons for everything. And I think you approach life like that in general. And that's fucking killer,
Correct.
dude. Yeah? You got a strong soul, man. Hell yeah. Geologist? Oh, geologist, possibly something like that. It just sounds like space in general, I guess. I mean, the funny part is we haven't even examined half of fucking the sea or the forest of the earth. We still haven't explored our mountains, dude. I mean,
I know
a lot of shit.
Well,
yeah.
You do a lot of exploring, so that's, you're helping.
Dude, I went to the biggest mountain in Maine, Mount Katahdin. I think it's the first place in America to see sunlight every morning. Is it Mount Katahdin or Mount Cadillac?
Okay.
Either way, it's in Maine. And I was right at the base of it, this ironworks thing where they took minerals from the stream. So it's a constant going stream going to the ocean. And it's minerals like ORC and slagtite and all that shit. And they put it in this kiln, dude, and they burned it and made fucking swords and steels and railroad tracks out of it. And they had a hotel there. And all that's left is this furnace, and it's half destroyed, and it was free. I gave the girl a $5 tip because she was at this end of this 20-mile dirt road with no speed limit. Saw 3 wild rabbits. Holy fuck, Shane. I thought I was in Alice in Wonderland. I was ready to see the little white rabbit to guide me down a hole.
Wow. Yeah,
I just took a left. I took a left. I had an hour to kill. And then halfway down the dirt road, I go, I can't fucking turn around now. And then I start seeing rabbits. I'm like, fuck, am I on drugs? I saw a deer. And then I see this 300-foot, I don't know if you saw my Facebook page, 300-foot rock furnace from 1882.
Wow.
And it used to be a town. They had a 3-story hotel. They had a brothel. They had train tracks. You can rent a campground now, which I want to do. But the girl goes, oh, it's free. Go explore. I go, here's a $5. She goes, take a candy. She had hard candy. I go, who the fuck is this lady? She's 80 miles in the woods by herself with a candy dish. Is she a witch?
Wow.
Bizarre shit, dude.
That is.
I feel like Maine's a lot like Michigan, Wisconsin-ish.
Yes, very much. I've never been there, but from my friends that I've had that lived there before, they're like, yeah, it's pretty much Michigan. Just a little colder in the winter. Wetter.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't fucking wait. If everybody made the same money, I would be a paper boy. Okay, King. King gambles a lot. That's how he makes his money. He does poker and shit. Haunting in space. Yeah, everybody. Okay, so yeah, we got about 5 minutes left, but everybody's saying great show. UFO Fred, Mike Davis, Nicole Gaspard, King, Dave, Carlos Nunez, Charles Fulton. Of course, me in chat and Heather, Witch and Caminiti all say great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. A lot of you tune in every week. Support the show. We really appreciate that. Shane, we got 5 left, brother. Shit, man. What do you think 2023 brings for you?
Yeah, I want to build a second version of this sensor board. So I have now, then I can put, 2 at a time on the location and find out, okay, is it just one board seeing something or do I have another one to collaborate? Because the times are synced, et cetera. So that's one of the things I want to build. It's just, it takes a lot of time to build one of those. And so I basically just never get enough time to finish it, but that's what I want to do.
Well, winters are kind of long for you guys too. Maybe not as brutal as us, but Michigan gets pretty cold, correct? You'll have some snow days, I would think. I mean, obviously you will have to do honeydew list type shit, but it's hard to get time. Then you got to write a book to boot, Shane. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, it gets busy.
But in a way, we like it, right? It keeps us on our toes. I think we sit back and look and we got nothing going on. That's going to bring us down,
Yep.
So, let's give a couple more plugs while we get 3 minutes left. Let's give shout outs. I know you sound like a broken record, but we are getting people coming in late. Where can people find you? Will you accept friend requests? And let's name drop your paranormal team and all that good shit again.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can find me, Shane Feek, on Facebook. Send me a friend request and it should work out good. You can send me email, shane.feek@gmail.com. That way usually works too. Of course, you can find me through the Studio 6 Paranormal Facebook page as well. So I'm not very hard to find. I don't hide very much.
No. I mean, you're not an open book, but what you offer, you're right there, and you're a very humble dude. Carlos Nunez says, great show. Mike Davis, good information. Thank you. Charles Fulton says, I'm going to try to check you out. Heather says, great show, Mr. Historian, Mr. King, and Mr. Feek. Thank you again, Kings, Ross says. So, yeah, we look at 2 minutes. I'm not going to rush you quite off. I know you worked your ass off all day, and you probably want to go, but I got you for 2 more minutes. Your soul's mine. So,
no problem.
What was like, I don't know, man, like, shit, let's just wrap. Where does your family come into play with all this shit? Do they support you? Do they believe you? Are they in it too?
Oh, yeah, they know me and because of the way I do things, science and all that stuff. So usually when I tell them stuff, they're pretty much like, yeah, that seems pretty believable. I mean, you have no way to prove 100%, but you know, you can get a lot farther than a lot of others.
Yep. No, that's cool. My family thinks I'm a fucking nut because I used to sing in a metal band, and now I hunt ghosts and think I'm demonic. The ones that are alive still don't really talk to me much. But I got a lot of great friends like you guys that respect what I do, so that's cool. Huh?
Yeah. I like to jam out on my guitar. Pretty fun.
Oh, that's right. You play guitar. That's right. You do play the string, the 5-string?
6-string, standard
6-string.
You know, guitar. 6-string.
So
yeah.
you're an Eddie Van Halen fan, a Dimebag Darrell, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You play left or right?
Oh, I'm just right. Normal position.
Okay. I got a friend, Joe Wellington, that's very modest, but he can play Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, fucking Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm not too good at it, but you know, I flink along, and people can at least usually tell what the song is, so I go with it.
Well, the best part is it's soothing to you. It's fun, and that's what matters, my brother. Fuck everybody else. It don't matter.
Pretty much.
I love that, man. I love it, and that's what I love about you too. Is you don't pull no punches, man. You're not here to make fucking friends, but you're not here to make enemies. You're just here, man, and you're doing your thing. And people want to come with you. That's cool. That's cool, man. Shit. Shane Feek, I'll have to have you and Jay on the vodcast at some point.
Sure.
Yeah. October 31st, Halloween's the end of the season. So season 2, I'll have to have you back on. Shit, man, this all went by fast. Thank you so much for joining me, my brother. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, great time and good questions, everybody.
Cool. I appreciate that. I try to keep it not stuck up, but I want to make it very much legit. And you, man, for those of you that didn't catch the beginning part of Shane's technical aspect of it, please catch the hard copy tomorrow. It'll be up on many formats to listen to, from Spotify to YouTube to right here on Paranormal King Radio Network. So from Ross, my boss, Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, please check out my YouTube channel. You see all my, I went to Richmond Vampire Grave, Lizzie Borden's house, that place I was talking about just now, a lot of places. And check out Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast with Shane Feek and Jay Hill. They're on YouTube, Facebook, and Southern Michigan Paranormal.
Yeah, Southern Michigan Paranormal. Yep.
Yes, Southern Michigan Paranormal. I know. Last but not least, I'm stoned. Hey, Shane Feek, F-E-E-K, my brother. He's a good dude. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all in chat. Love you all. Have a great night, historians. And Shane, say bye.
Peace out.
Peace out. Have a great night, guys. Talk to you next week.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.